Pokemon Sword and Shield are all about the battles, the massive stadiums packed in to see the fight of a lifetime. And who wouldn't want to see these Gigantamax behemoths up against one tiny little funky monkey for the entire game? So I scammed Leon into giving me his Grookey and very appropriately named him Funky Kong cause we are about to funk up the way this game is supposed to be played. Our journey began by murdering our rival's sniveling defenseless child, meeting a ghost dog, and dropping nearly every cent of our starting allowance on this dripped out Arcanine shirt. You'd think with that much action it would be high time for the first gym fight, right? Nope. First, we had to get inducted into the gym challenge by Walt Disney and his 7 gym leaders, murder yet another snot-nosed child, all the while repeatedly denying our little monkey from going ape mode. Did I mention this funky little fella is already at level 25? Even though my small monkey brain could barely handle the gym puzzle, the fight itself was a piece of cake. We luckily stumbled upon the TR for low kick while in the wild area earlier, which is one of few non-grass and normal type moves that Grookey can actually learn. While low kick itself wouldn't do much good against the extremely lightweight flower Pokemon, its attack boosting max move version did. So that was one gym down without any excessive item abuse for now. The path to the next gym was paved with, I don't know, brick? It was pretty much a straight shot aside from a Team Yell fight and a rival fight that both went about how you'd expect for having an extremely overleveled starter in the early part of the game. Gym number 2 required my monkey brain to evolve a little bit to solve the puzzle. No, not you. And the gym battle literally only lasted 3 turns. Let me break it down. Kill fish number 1, overkill fish number 2, which sets up the grass to ensure that the big turtle dies a horrible yet very quick death. With our second gym badge in hand, our next order of business was to talk to Mr. Business about some business, try desperately to get Gordon Ramsay's autograph, and as far as battles go, well, we were simply breezing through everything. Until we weren't. That's right, the next gym up was the Fire Gym, comprised of 3 fully evolved, very strong Pokemon. Overconfident as I was, I challenged the gym and was quickly humbled by the gym trainers. Oh, Kabu though? I beat him on the first try. All I had to do was Google where to find the move Facade, which doubles in power when you have a status condition. Get burned turn 1 by Ninetales Will-O-Wisp, use Max Knuckle to counteract the attack drop from the burn, and proceed to sweep everything else with Facade. It was simple as that, really. I mean, massive Gigantamax Firebug who quad resists grass versus small grass monkey. I mean, who do you think would win? It's the monkey. Obviously. That's 3 gyms down, all done with only strategically using Dynamax to my advantage. For now. Continuing onward, we learned a lesson in Galar history and taught a lesson in pain to Hop and Team Yell. However, we did get OHKO'd by just a random trainer's sock, meaning that the difficulty was finally starting to ramp up a little bit more. Also evidenced by this sad first attempt at gym number 4, the first time we lost a gym fight. And so I finally caved into peers pressure and tried out just one little battle item on Funky Kong. Okay, maybe 2, but that's it. It definitely won't be a gateway to anything else. Oh look, we won. Maybe this stuff isn't so bad after all. After that, we witnessed Bede also dabble in illegal activity, vandalism, specifically, then prance through what has to be a totally legal and completely non-psychedelic forest of magical glowing mushrooms. After attempting the 5th gym only to experience resounding defeat again, I also attempted to abide by the law and deny the performance-enhancing drugs in favor of a much more time-consuming method, EV training and grinding. Yeah, let's just stick to the drugs. Thanks to the combined power of an X attack and the stat buffs that Opal literally just gives you, what, you expect me not to just look the answers up? We made pretty light work of Granny Opal's team and earned our 5th gym badge. Then we encountered Hop and he wanted to fight again, and this time he was the one giving me the lesson in pain. As it took multiple attempts to get past his stupid Heatmore. And you know, sometimes there's simply nothing a critical hit can't do. On Route 6, we navigated through an unnecessarily complicated maze, don't forget, small monkey brain, picked up some TMs that were essentially garbage, and made it to Kirchester. Sirchester? I don't know. Before even challenging the gym, I figured the best way to beat it would be just more Facade shenanigans. So I spent like an hour and a half just trying to get poisoned, only to be reminded that they heal you right before the fight.
Hey pal, you just blowing from Stupid Town?
So I had to try to raw dog the fight and yeah. The answer to not just getting immediately blown up was actually in the previous town of Balanlea, where you can get the TM for acrobatics from a random NPC that got us past the first Pokemon, but not the penguin who completely blocks physical moves, rendering an entire max move useless. The next attempt, we got lucky that she didn't use Hail to reset the absolutely broken ability and managed to finish the first ridiculously difficult fight. We meet up with Sonia and Hop to celebrate our victory at Bob's Your Uncle restaurant, where I'm convinced that Bob is the one who stole and hung up this ancient tapestry, all Nick Cage style, and probably had a nice dip in the pool after his legendary heist. Hop and I battled right outside Uncle Bob's historic bathwater, and I managed to beat him despite having to pull out the X item shenanigans, because how else is a Grookey going to beat a Corviknight? Honestly, you might as well just expect me to use X items in every battle from now on, because it's just getting insanely difficult to keep up with the game, except for Team Yell and Marnie. Those are you. Unfortunately, this is the time that we all knew was coming. The forced double battle, which means that I can't technically beat the game with only Funky Kong and him alone. Thankfully though, I taught him how to reproduce by budding. Don't ask. And little baby Diddy Kong was here to just sit there while Funky Kong did all the work. Now finally, the no Dynamax battle with Piers. Okay, so, attempt number 2, and that's more like it. So that was Gym 7 down like it was nothing. Except for when it was something, but let's just look past that. Don't even think about that. I wish I could show you more of what happened between Gym 7 and 8, but it was literally nothing. Like there was wild Pokemon Dynamaxing, which seems crazy, but they only show you on a phone in-game. What the heck is even that? Now, as you may know, Gym 8 is all double battles, so little Diddy is going to have to tag along. Using him as just an extra turn to use battle items, the gym trainers went down pretty handily. Raihan, on the other hand, was a very different story. Even with my admittedly cheesy strategy, this fight took almost 10 whole attempts. So here is a montage of Funky Kong brutally dying in a multitude of ways, and here is him very unceremoniously kicking the building to win the fight. Beating this 8th gym made me realize we've come a long way. From beating gyms using pure strategy and skill, to struggling to win any fight without the use of scummy X items. With all 8 badges in tow, Hop and I ride to Winden glued to our phones like true Zoomers. Upon arrival in the big city, I headed straight for the big dome to take down my rivals. I think you know the drill by now. Roid up and run with it. And the semifinals concluded with a hilariously anticlimactic Razor Leaf. Before the actual tournament, that brings us to minimal story jam-packed into the very end of the game, where we fight Oleana, who has a team that is almost entirely built to counter Grookey. So yeah, this one was another 10 attempts. To summarize, I got burned turn 1 every time without fail. The next Pokemon is literally a pure grass type's worst nightmare, and the one after that has one of the game's strongest flying type moves. But after carefully navigating through all of that, with Dynamax and a little luck, a Milotic that virtually just couldn't hurt Funky Kong was the perfect opportunity to set up, probably a little too much, and Funky Kong brought an end to pollution by destroying an entire landfill with a little stick. And now for the final tournament. Bede was powerless to stop an extremely overleveled monkey, and so was Nessa, as you can imagine. All I have to say about fighting Alistair is thank Arceus that Grookey gets knockoff, and all I have to say about fighting Raihan is I really hate turtles now. And also thank Arceus that the AI is stupid and would only use a move that works when you hit it and let me set up as much as I want to. That leaves only the champion. But as per usual, first we have to save the entire world from mortal peril, which was not as easy as you might think. And of course, somehow the solution to our problem, once again, was in the magic mushroom town of Balanlea. And with the Eviolite, tanking hits became so much easier, and we were able to punch our way to victory. Defeating regular Eternatus was just as simple as it not using super effective moves, and defeating Big Gulp Eternatus was as simple as letting the meta-breaking power-crept legendary dogs do all the work for me. With the dogs out and the world back to normal, it was time to actually now fight the champion. And with his first Pokemon using a shielding move every other turn, you know what that means. What, did you expect me to win the hard way? The honest way? No, we demolished his entire team, leaving only Gigantamax Charizard standing between me and beating this challenge. I saved my Dynamax to the end to make sure that our streak of anticlimactic finales came to an end. In a gigantic, all-out fight to the death, it was Funky Kong who emerged victorious. So now I can officially say yes, you can beat Pokemon Shield with only Grookey. All it takes is going bananas on the drugs. Thanks for watching, and make sure to monkey around with that sub button. And seriously, don't do drugs.